Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the live stream. My name's Dan, and you're all here on Tweet FPV. Thank you all for coming out this weekend, this beautiful Sunday morning. At least it's beautiful where I'm at. It's, I don't know, it's a little on the chilly side, a little around 60 degrees. Sunny, great day to get outside and go do something. Not much wind. And things are good. Thank you all for coming out. Another beautiful day. Started our holiday work schedule at work. I got to work once every 4 days. It's awesome. I love it. It's a well-needed break from the stress at work. Hope everybody's doing well. Mike, as always, first in the chat. And House first again, you know. Switched accounts, sir. First twice. Congratulations, you win. Cookies and coffee. Yeah. I already had my one Stroop waffle for the morning. Not doing two. I shouldn't do two. Paul McDonald, good morning. ESC FPV. That was a fun morning. Yeah. We'll dive into that a little bit. William Tam, what's up? How you doing this morning? North 49 RC. Good morning. Keith Drones, glad to see you again. Paul McDonald headed to the fly spot. Good on you, man. If you guys got packs charged and you're sitting here listening to me talk and while you're waiting to go out, go fly. It'll be better for you. Mr. Triple B up in the house. What's up, man? How you doing? Rocking that 03 air unit. I am. You are the canary in the coal mine for me. I mean, well, you were. I was waiting to see what you thought, but I got bit before that. So we'll dive into that a little bit more. Ryan, how you doing? Wrong Way FPV. 32 here in Oregon. Yeah, it was 30. It was 30 degrees this morning when I woke up. It was cold. Things don't usually get that cold. When it gets below freezing, lots of stuff goes wrong here because in Alabama, nobody has planned on what happens to water when it gets cold enough. Everything freezes. There's no frost freeze. There's no hydrants. Everything is just ground level, exposed PVC pipe, and the solution is, just go drip your pipes. Like, that's not how. It's not how that's supposed to be, but hey, that's where we're at. We just got to turn the faucet on and just piss water on the ground. 40 in Rhode Island, not too shabby. Borked, good morning. How you doing? Free Lojo, welcome, man. William Tam, how you doing? Going to be 20 years in Louisiana Christmas weekend. Yeah, I'm heading out of town for the holidays like I always do, and it's supposed to get into like the mid-teens overnight, and I got to kind of talk to the person watching the animals while I'm gone, see if he can help me out with that, because otherwise it's going to be a mess. Expander, how you doing this morning? Rick Cepeda, good morning, my friend. Glad to have you here. David Johnson, 0 degrees here. Is that C or F? Probably F, if I had to guess. Brandon Baked Bean says, I'm building officially started yesterday. I have Rick and Boost and JD printing stuff for me today. Awesome, man. Andrew, good morning. Glad to see you again. Paul J. Reese, good morning. Brandon's building the AOS 5 LR frame. He went OCD on it. Trucker. Yeah, I was going to put this in an existing build, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to build another quad. I bought an AOS 5 V2 and a couple months ago before the 03 Air unit came out. I haven't built it yet, so I just went back to CNC Madness, got the front end parts for the 2 AOS frames I have, so at least I have the option if I want to dump that in there. It feels wrong to just pull a Vista out that's out of a very well flying, perfectly built quad. Not perfectly built quad, but there ain't nothing wrong with it. I don't have a reason to tear it apart. So that's what that's what I mean. So anyways, for those of you that aren't on my Discord or you don't know, every year for the last couple years, I do my Secret FPV Santa giveaway Secret Santa program for the holidays. This year, just like every other one, we did it again. But instead of everybody just opening their gifts as you get them, this time I am trying to do two things at once here, and I can't make that happen. So unlike the past years where everybody just kind of opened their gifts and posted them as they received them, I asked everybody to hang on to their gifts unopened, and we were going to open them all together. Out of, I think I had, how many people do I have in this thing? I don't remember. I think it was close to 17. No, it was less than that. Let's see. Server settings, roles. Let's see. 15 members. 14. 15 members. 15 people signed up for the Secret Shopper program this year. And this time I had everybody hold onto their gifts, and we're going to do an unboxing all together. And we did that this morning before this live stream over on Discord, which was awesome. I didn't know if Discord could handle that many people being in the video chat at the same time, but it was a great time. I think everybody was pleasantly surprised and very much enjoyed the whole process. Definitely a little bit more of a pain in the butt to do it that way, but I think it was totally worth it. Everybody really seemed like they enjoyed their stuff. Everybody had theirs except for one person who isn't in the U.S. Their stuff's still in transit. And unfortunately this year we did have one person kind of scam out on us. Said he was in, kept having good two-way conversations with the guy through the DMs, and as soon as he got his item from somebody, he just ghosted everybody and took off, which kind of saw it coming. This guy's been a big pain in the ass on the server, and I really didn't have a good reason to get rid of him, but anyways, he showed his true colors. But unfortunately, that's the way it is. But so, I mean, I'm not going to give away what everybody else got, but I ended up getting a FetTech 35 amp AIO, and I've never flown KISS. I've only flown Clean Flight and Betaflight. Clean Flight back when that was the only option because Betaflight didn't exist. So I am super excited to give this a go. I've never flown KISS. Everybody tells me it is better than everything else. I can't wait to find out. I really cannot. And I also just happen to have a Ripsqueak sitting here next to it. I think that is fate. I think those two are going to make a beautiful, beautiful couple there. Sorry, trying to type and talk at the same time is trying to talk and type at the same time. It does not work well. So I did not know this, but everybody except for the one person that was in the Secret Shopper group was working behind the scenes behind me. And they all put together a collection and sent it over for me, which, guys, you really absolutely totally did not have to do that. I'm honestly completely blown away that you guys did this, and I can't thank you enough. But they have started the Goggle 2 fund for me. I thank you guys. I don't know how to, I mean, it's amazing. You guys are awesome. I really appreciate it. And one of the people that put it together suggested, hey, on the live stream, put it up there and see if anybody else is willing to jump in on the Goggle 2 fund. So there it is. Thank you, Andrew. Thank you, Keith, Rick, everybody in the Secret Shopper group. It's amazing how everybody came together. I love this community, and that is what makes FPV better than just about any other hobby I've had. It's amazing. Big shout out Andrew, House FPV, Keith Drones, Kind FPV, Lawrence, Lawbart, Laws, whatever you're gonna go by. Thank you. Mupshot, Not Tech Support, Rick Zapata, Robbie Lee. You'll get it eventually. SCO FPV, Speedy Turtle, as always, Steady Eddie, and The Monkey. Thank you so much for making the Secret Shopper program awesome this year. We'll definitely do it next year. I wanted to do Christmas in July this past year. Things were just too busy. I have a feeling they may be too busy this year, but it's definitely on my radar to try to do it again. Keith, dude, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. It's one of those things that every time I go to do it, I'm like, do I really want to do this year? And by the end of it, it's totally worth it. I very much enjoy it. And like I said, the community aspect was awesome. It was nice actually getting to see the people that I talk to on Discord on the regular basis. You guys see me all the time, but I never get to know who you guys are. I know your voices from the voice chat and kind of your personalities through the texting back and forth, but to actually put a face with the name is awesome. I appreciate it. So, anywho, moving on. This December, we're doing the Tweet FPV giveaway, as we always do, over on Discord. This month is just like any other month, giving away a quad. It's going to be a micro. I've got a whole smorgasbord of micros here, and let's see. I move the buttons around. There we go. Oh, I didn't turn the camera on. Good job. Good job. Come on, boot up. Let's go. You can do it. There it is. One of these four. We got a HDZ. We've got a brushed. And, you know, it's brushed. I get that. But the modern brushed quads, they're not competitive. They're not great at anything. But there's something special about the way they fly and the way they yaw that makes them just almost addictive to fly. Honestly, there's nothing on paper that is superior about these. It's a feel. It's like everybody who says, hey, vinyl's better than DVD or MP3s and stuff like that. Like, on a technical aspect, no, they're not, but there's something about them that makes them way more desirable. And I'll be honest, these brush quads are pretty darn sweet. I've got a analog Mobeetle and a B brain of some sort. I don't remember what model this is, but this one is D8. This is going to be on ElRS, which this is a great little quad. ElRS and HDZ. I know it's about to happen. So anyways, if you guys want to get on that, head over to tweetfv.com and join up the Discord. 5 and up will get you early access, or we'll go. It'll open up to everybody. I'm planning on doing a live stream on July 1st. We'll see if that works out. I'm not exactly sure what my travel plans are going to look like, but we'll do it. We'll do it then. Free Lojo. Chip it in. Another $5. Thank you so much, my friend. let's see. Back to the Lawrence, 10 more. Thank you, man. That's awesome. Andrew, so for the Secret Santa thing, I got something for Andrew through Weebleed, and I put in the comments, and I don't ever know if the retailers read these things, but I put in the comments what it is we're doing, the Secret Santa thing. I told him, hey, try to not put any of my personal information in there. And I got an email back from Weebleed, from Zotac. He's like, hey, man, I love what you're doing. I got you. I'm like, wow, someone reads this. He put a note and everything inside the box. Very good on you. When you can find a retailer that's willing to go the extra mile and actually do things like that, it's awesome. So I gotta give a big shout out to Weebleed FEV for just being a bro. Thank you so much. Wrong way. FPV says, I hate that I missed out on that. Would have loved to participate for sure. Hey, maybe in July, and definitely next. Something distracting back there. June Loco, how you doing this morning? Yeah, Athex, the lack of power makes them feel smoother. Something like that. Yeah, there's something special about it. Rob Logan Jr., hi, man. I haven't seen you in a while. Hope you're doing well. Glad to have you here today, my friend. Yeah, this is what happens when someone runs out of screen time for the day. It's like an animated background. Oh, man. I think she just tried to bite me. She's been in a bitey mood lately. She's also gotten popped in the mouth once for that, so let's see what happens again. No biting. Let's see. Brandon says the O3 is supposed to be mounted straight to carbon, right? But doing that, my DJ USB-C cable doesn't fit the USB port. Interesting. Flying Ryan says, have your grip sales went up any? Been seeing guys over your site? Ask about mine. I haven't really seen. I've seen a small uptick. Things are actually very slow this time of year. Sales. All right, kiddo. Hang on. Okay. All right. She wants you to meet Lucy. Lucy's our 4-year-old Chewini. 5-year-old Chewini. She's super sweet. She's a good little talker. Go out with mom. Yeah. Okay. There we go. Anyways, what are we talking about? I don't remember. So as things go, this time of year is usually pretty slow for the grip sales. They usually pick up. It's funny, I can watch the trend over on WooCommerce. Anytime the FAA comes out with something, sales drop off. And then for the wintertime, sales drop off. So there's a hump in the spring and in the fall. Wintertime and like the dead of summer this year, there was a pretty good lull. Haven't been hearing back from Race Day Quads lately. They switched sales managers, and I haven't heard from him in a while. I emailed him last weekend, see if he needed anything before I shut the store down for the holidays. I haven't heard anything back, so I don't know if they're good on sales or not. FEV Trucker, good morning from Denver Airport, returning home after my dad's funeral. Sorry, man. Really sorry to hear that. Yeah. Sorry, man. Let's see. June Locust says I got a Chewini too. Her name is Lemon. I love her so much. Yeah, hers is Lucy, and you would think that a Chewini Chihuahua Dachshund, they would have like that Chihuahua tendency. She has zero Chihuahua in her at all. Like, she is just as sweet as can be to anybody and everybody. She's not protective. It's kind of amazing. So Brandon, here is an issue that I've seen with a lot a lot of FPV related stuff. Well, not FPV related stuff, but with a lot of stuff in the electronics industry, there is an actual spec for a USB-C cable. Most USB-C cables that you buy are not true to the USB-C spec. So if DJI read the USB-C spec and sized it for a perfectly sized USB-C cable, the cables that you get cheap off of Amazon and things like that may not fit. This was an issue with a couple of the radios where I think it was Beta FPV for their ELRS modules. A USB-C cable wouldn't fit. Yes, a USB-C cable would if the cable was actually built to the proper spec. Let's go over to the bench and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Be right back. So when we start talking like USB-C specs, like this is a mess. So this is the kind of the thing that you're going to end up getting off of Amazon. And when you start actually measuring out the cable, we're talking like 7 and some change, and 12 and some 12 and a half. This cable here is from Samsung, and this one I've already figured out is built exactly to the USB-C standard specifications. And that is exactly how thick a USB-C cable gland end should be. Is it's 4.7 millimeters, but the ones you're typically going to find are going to be more around 7. So I haven't checked the chat to see if you replied, but it may be that you're using a non-properly spec'd USB-C cable. So this is the proper spec. 12.25 and 4.7 is what the spec is roughly. And then most of my cables are these big old fat bastards that are not spec'd right and therefore don't work on a lot of devices. So you may want to check your cable. Now back to the chat to tell me that I'm wrong and you are using one. Where do we go? Eighth Access Discord. I'll be right back to that one. Eighth. All right. Thank you, man. That's awesome. I very much appreciate that. Where did that go? There we go. Athix, Paul McDonald. Oh, you guys are awesome. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Her nickname is Cujo. I take it she has a lot of that Chihuahua in her. Marcel off Axis FPV. Good morning. How are you? Rob Logan said that Pitchwawa. Should have never been. Oh man. Let's see. Yeah, Brandon, let me know if it's just the cables out of spec. It's a big issue with a lot of electronics because manufacturers follow that spec sheet, and when other manufacturers don't, it causes issues. Okay, so the right size cable does fit for you, Brandon? Free Lojo says that Boxer looks awesome. Yeah, guys, that's another thing I want to talk about today is the Radio Master Boxer. I've actually got one. Let me go grab it. I have my very own Radio Master Boxer right here. This is a great radio. I love just about everything about the Boxer. The stick placement, the switches, this is perfect. This is probably gonna be my go-to radio. I'm probably gonna stop flying the Zorro. I'm gonna start flying the Boxer now. Stick placement's great. The switches, we got the latching, we got the momentary over here, we got the 4 switches on the face, the 2 pots. Oh shit! I grabbed my Mambo by accident. My bad. It is like a 1-to-1 copy of the Mambo, which I am happy about. I loved the Mambo. This, out of all the the normal radios, I really like the Nirvana, which I'm not buying that new one. I really like the Nirvana, but when it came down to it flying, I really like this radio, and I really like the Zorro. It was a toss up between the two of these. And the reason why I stopped flying the Mambo is because of this shit right here and their BS that they've been pulling. The fact that the gimbals only pull at 150 hertz, so anything above that's useless. The fact that you're stuck with tracer inside kind of sucks. The way they built the gimbals kind of sucks. But the feel, the shape, the dimensions of the radio, I loved it. I loved the fact that there wasn't, that we had just these flush switches here up on the top. I don't really care for the big dingus arm switches. As you see, I have replaced these 2 already with shorter ones because they already broke. I don't like the way the switches were integrated with the PCB. They're a pain in the butt to replace because they come off with the main board, and you have to basically cut them, desolder them, and then solder new ones in while it's installed. Not a great design. Probably very good for a manufacturing standpoint, but not from a end user usability. And the fact that they still have not been able to port OpenTX or EdgeTX to this radio. We're still using the Freedom TX and all their proprietary shit that they've been doing with this. Really irritates me. Oh, and this thumb wheel, this thing is hot trash. I don't like the ones on the Radio Master as it is, and this one was definitely worse. FR Sky, they're the only one that have built a decent thumb wheel. I mean, the concept is there. The implementation, not good. So I am really looking forward to the Boxer. I have one ordered. And I'm hoping it'd be here. I asked another prominent YouTuber if I could borrow theirs so I could make some grips for it before they start coming out. Unfortunately, that person said he's still using it to make content. Perfectly fine. I kind of expected that, but I figured I'd ask. Only thing about the Boxer that I don't like is the way the antenna is set up. I don't really care for this. No, I don't want to subscribe. I really don't care for the way that the antenna is screwed to the top. I really would prefer to have the option to do both. As far as I know, FR Sky is the only company that I know of that gives you the ability through software to change from external to internal antenna. If you could do that, this would be awesome. Have a flat PCB based antenna on the inside of the radio, say here, not on the back shell, but say right here. And then you could switch it in software for external and run whatever style antenna you want. So you could have the best of both worlds. I don't know if any other company does that besides FR Sky, but I really wish that we had the option with this radio. Unfortunately, we don't, and that's fine. I mean, I like everything about this radio. I love the fact that the SD card is easy to get to. I don't really like this stupid trapdoor SD card holder thing. I think those are kind of fumbly and hard to work with, but it's better than the other alternatives. But well, the one thing I do see is everybody losing their freaking SD card inside this radio. You're going to put it in there, and you're going to bump the radio, and it's going to go, and you're going to be MFing everybody for a while. But, I mean, in the soft handle, I like that. I think that's a great idea. And I'm sure somebody's going to make a kickstand, much like what we got on the Mambo at some point. But I do like a lot of this radio. There's a lot to like here. I don't know if I'd ever use the 6 buttons up front, but the knowing you have them is kind of nice. Again, too many buttons. I don't need a page forward and a page backwards and a telemetry button and a return button and a scroll and click wheel. I don't need all that. You need page, menu, exit, and that's about it. We could definitely do with one less of these. I don't know if these are buttons as well. It looks like they are or were intended to be, but I'm not entirely sure if those are buttons. Nice gimbals. The AG01 gimbals I hear are supposed to drop straight into this thing along with the LED light rings. Yeah, I don't really care about those. These are good enough Hall effect gimbals that I would probably stick with these. I like that they're using the shorter sticks. I don't like they're using the flat ones. I wish they were the round and slightly shorter, much like these ones here on this radio that I've got, my little aftermarket ones. But damn nice radio. Big old battery base. You can slap a big old LiPo in there. There is a lot to like about this radio if you're looking for something that's not a gamepad style radio. I like gamepad style radios, but I like this better. And the Trappy was talking, he said this is basically a Mambo 1 split in half and glued together. Take the screen out. And he said the form factor and the layout is the same as the old Mambo 1, which I've never flown. I kind of want to, but I never have. So there's a lot to like about the... Hang on. There's a lot to like about the Boxer, and I can't wait to get it. Oh, Brandon says even with the thinner cable still interferes with the carbon when mounted squarely on the frame. Interesting. I've got my my O3 air unit out, and yeah, it looks like it's going to. It looks like it is actually going to hit. So let's go ahead and plug this guy in. This isn't plugged in anything else. And nope, that should be flat. It is basically perfectly in spec. Yeah, for me, it is exactly flat. Like, there is no room for error there. You guys can see that. It is pretty much... Come on. Focus, you fuck. Pretty much flat straight across. So, I don't know. It might be different once I have it in a frame. Let's see. Nope, haven't got a Ranger module. I haven't bought one though. Andrew, waiting on a Boxer Max. I'm sure there will be a Boxer Max. It would not surprise me at all. Waiting on the Boxer Max. Once that happens, I'll switch to it. Give me the AG01s pre-installed. Nicer faceplate. I like the plastic bodies. I don't think I'd really like a metal faceplate. I feel like it would just be kind of cold. But yeah, I've never felt one, so I'm not entirely sure. Brandon Bakebean says that needs to be a thing. I don't know what it is you're talking about. I want to try Zorro at some point. I love the Zorro. I wish the batteries were bigger. That's really the only thing with it for me. Brandon says, I'm going to get that Boxer because my T12 finally lost my confidence. Yeah, I remember you were having some issues with it. Should have replaced it, but the new Boxer looks nice. Yeah, it's definitely going to be bigger than the TX12. I've got one of those in the back too, and the Mambo, which is basically a Boxer, is definitely a bigger radio. But not by that much. System and model buttons. That's what I figured it would be. The wrong one's feel better switch. Yeah, because you're not like pushing on them like you would a switch. You're kind of like rolling your finger against it. So, yeah. Comes with the case and the gimbal protectors. Yes, it does. It does come with the case and the gimbal protectors. At least from what I'm seeing, it does come with these two things. And the gimbal protectors aren't, I don't think they're a 3D printed thing. They're an actual injection molded gimbal protector. So that's pretty cool. But as I always do, if this thing can't live in my bag without a gimbal protector, without getting all messed up, it's not going to survive in my arsenal. The Mambo has survived. The Mambo was very durable. There wasn't a lot of things to get hooked on. The switches broke on this one because it fell off my desk because I'm a dumbass. But yeah. Oh yeah, and you can play Tetris on it. You can play Tetris on any of the radios though. I feel like I will miss 2 fewer switches, so I actually have all mine mapped. I use 2 switches on my radio, and that's it. Market Zero says, mark it on some double-sided tape. Mark it on. How about use a thermal pad instead of double-sided tape? That'll give you the heat transfer that you're looking for into the carbon and give you some space. Just thought. Haven't tried it, but just thought. Andrew says he might switch. Yeah, I just was never a big fan of the TX16S. It was far too big, and I had one of the early ones, and I saw the internal construction on it, and I was like, nope, not doing this. Oh no, I had the jumper, the original jumper with all the ribbon cables. As soon as I opened up, saw ribbon cables, I'm like, whoop, make the grips and sell it. Get rid of this thing. The sauce is really good. Oh man, I gotta get some sauce. He's got the We Bleed hot sauce. I've been wanting to try that. I like hot sauces that have a good flavor. Put a straight edge across that. All right. There's this. Yeah, I got plenty of room. Plus, there's a little bit of wiggle to the USB cable itself. So, I know it's out of focus, but yeah, I have room. But then again, like I said, it's not actually bolted down to anything that may mess with the dimensions. We'll see, though. Keith Jones loves this TX12. Yeah, I mean it's a yes, fourth 990. That's exactly what I want to say. You know, there's nothing wrong with the TX16S. I think it's a great radio. It's not for me. It's not what. I don't know. It takes up too much real estate in my bag for what it provides. House does have a T12 on ERS. If you want to snack it. Yeah, that's right. House is doing a bench cleaning, and he's getting rid of a TX12 ERS. So, Brandon, that might be a good way to stay with something you're used to, but then also upgrade at the same time. My Zoro gimbals sound like mockingbirds. Really? Interesting. No beeper switch? I do have a beeper switch, and it is it's the same switch I use for flip over after crash. You can do both. Let's see. How to install tracks on our Zoro, please. Yeah, I can do that. Not today, but I can make a video on how to do it. I just got to find the files. But sure, absolutely. That's a good idea. Might do a YouTube short on that because apparently those are getting monetized now. Flying Ryan's been hooked on this X-Lite Pro. X-Lite Pro is a great radio. I ended up buying one, a used one, just recently for my daughter. She liked the way that one felt. Or she liked my Zorro. So I figured that the X-Lite Pro would be good for her. But then I managed to pick up a spare Zorro that I need to do something with. Will the fabric handles of the Boxer cut into grip sales? I don't see how. The fabric handles are just... It's just a way to carry a handle. The grips, they offer twofold. At least that's why the way I design them is for you to have a repeatable purchase on the radio. So under the goggles, you have no visual, obviously. So it's all about tactile. Like you get, I have grip here, and you try. The idea is to get your hand in the same place every single time. Carry handle's a good idea, though. It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see if people end up using it as a carry handle or if it's just kind of a different thing. Let's see, let's go through here. So here is the spec page for the USB-C connector. So that is the actual connector itself. Here is the plug dimension. So the spec of the plug dimension is this it? It's not what I'm looking for. Should be here somewhere. No, it's here somewhere. They even have like a degree of like angulation that it's supposed to be able to endure without losing connection. Well, I don't know. It's going to take a little more digging than I want to put in right now. But Brandon, here you go. That is the link to the actual USB-C standard specifications for the cables, or for everything USB-C related. I don't know why I'm having a hard time finding the actual dimensions. I probably went right past it and didn't read it. Trying to scan quickly. Yeah, I know it's in here. I found it before. I just can't find it right now. Anyways, that's the actual spec for the cable itself. Yeah, the spec sheet is unbelievably detailed. Link to inspect cables. I can get you that. You know what? Maybe I don't. Thought I had a good link to it. But like, I know if you're looking for cables, things like this, these are not going to be in spec. This one is a spec cable. This one is definitely in spec. Let me drop that link in the chat there. Yeah, here you go. That is a in-spec USB-C cable. And if anybody's watching this after the fact, it'll be in the video description as well. Yep, that is definitely going to be a true to spec USB-C cable. Usually a good identifier is the fact that it's not like a big bulbous rounded end on it. It's more square. It's squared off on the ends. It's usually a good tell that it's the right size cable, and also that there is not much of a shoulder between the actual metal part and the outside of the plug. It's very, very small, very minimal. But yeah, this is definitely going to be a true to spec cable. As long as they actually send you that cable and they don't do the old switcheroo on you and send whatever they have in the stock room, you know? Yep, that's an AFLink, of course. Let's see. Focus you fack. Yep. Yep. X-Lite Pro still popular then? Yeah. I don't think people are buying them, but they're still out there. People still use them. You've got to really like that small throw, that short throw gimbal. I do think it's one of the better gamepad shaped radios out there. I've looked at the new Nirvana. Nope. No, thank you. It's good on them for trying to revive it, but I don't think... I wouldn't recommend it to anybody. I did like the ergonomics of it. It was a very, very well-built, aesthetically and externally well-built radio. The insides sucked. I think the pulling rate is only 100 hertz on those gimbals, so the whole 500 hertz, 250 hertz ELRS, not going to do any good. It's still got Fly Sky on the inside of it. Nobody uses. Fly Sky is actually a really good protocol, but it's very old. The receivers are always too big. Nah. Yeah, Brandon, that's when I use the handle on the radios. Just throw a pinky under it and go. Athex, he's having a love-hate relationship with the 250. Needles to change motors, yeah. Steady Eddie, nice to talk to you today. Really enjoy seeing you guys. 250 the PayPal Goggle Fund. Busy at work, but thanks for putting a Secret Santa together. Thank you for participating. Thank you for participating. Phantom uses one, right? I don't know what he uses. Fly Sky, so 2016. I remember that Fly Sky was the first radio I had, the FSI 6. It came with my first quad, which was the Eachine Wizard X220. And it wasn't a bad radio. It was built to a price point. It was, you look at it wrong, the switches are going to break on it. Couldn't do a whole lot with it. You could hack the firmware to get 8 channels out of it instead of 6. Or was it 12 channels instead of 8? I don't remember, but there was a firmware hack you could do to it to get more channels out of it for free. I don't know. It was a kludgy radio, but it was built to a price point. It worked well enough for the quads at the time. And took double A's. So, I mean, what more do you want to come free with another quad that basically caught on fire if you looked at it wrong? But it wasn't a bad radio. FlySky actually had the protocol was, the communication rate was actually faster than or the latency was lower than any other protocol back in that era. But back then you had to prioritize range versus latency, and we want low latency, but then that meant you had low range, whereas Spectrum also has very low latency, and that's why Spectrum is team failsafe, because they didn't have great range. FrSky kind of did the other side of it. They're like, we're going to give you more range, but we're going to have a little more latency. I feel like they found a good balance, but then TBS came by with 900 hertz crossfire and things like that. So there's always a give and take. There's really no free lunch in this stuff. But with the new technology, we're definitely getting a lot more out of 2.4. That's why everybody moved away from 2.4 to 900. 2.4 really sucked. Like, they just did not have good technology behind it. And that's why everybody went 900, because now you no longer had to worry about fail-safing. You had all the distance in the world, and you had lower latency than all the previous protocols. Then 2.4 got reinvented to be better with great range and very low latency, so we're kind of on a technological upswing for 2.4. Athex says I slammed my 250 into a water tower in midfield, and yeah, I destroyed my 250. I ended up slamming it into a tongue on a gooseneck horse trailer, ripping 3 of the motors off of it. It was a pretty epic crash. If I could find it quickly, I'd show you guys the clip of it, but I don't know where it's at. Why are Spectrum radios so expensive? Because they can be. Because they are marketed towards people who don't know what the frick it is they're doing. Spectrum has aligned themselves with fixed-wing flyers, which are usually a older crowd of flyer, which don't shop around. Like when you, and this is all very generalized, when you buy a model like this Horizon Hobby, it has a receiver in it that's already set up to work with Spectrum. So, I just buy this airplane and I buy this radio and all I gotta do is fly? Sweet, because it works. It's super simple. But you get like a 6-channel radio for this much, and then the next one is an 8-channel, then a 10-channel, then a 12-channel. Whereas in reality, all these radios can do all 16 channels all the time, just like any OpenTX-based radio can do. But Spectrum has made a price point tier system based on how many channels you can have, and that's just the way they work, and they're doing well, and why change what's working for you? They're always going to have the corner of the fixed-wing market because of just the way they've marketed themselves and the way they've aligned themselves with Horizon Hobby, which is one of the largest producers of fixed-wing model aircraft. It's just the way it is. And you don't need a ton of range for fixed-wing, because you're usually flying line of sight, and flying fixed-wing, you usually don't need a lot of low latency. And same thing with helis, like Saab is hang on. Saw one of the dogs circling the living room. That usually means they're gonna take a dump or something. But yeah. Yep, Brandon, you hit it on the head there. Try to go to a local hobby shop and ask them for anything FrSky or FPV or drone related. Usually they'll just stop talking to you. At least that's my experience with the hobby shops around me. Spectrum are made with special sauce. They're not even great radios. They're plasticky and creaky. I haven't wrecked them. Team failsafe. Damn near killed them. They do make it to just bind and fly, use your stuff, follow the manual. It's super easy. Yeah, and they're doing it right. You know, they were one of the first ones out there doing it. You buy the model, you buy the radio, you turn the radio on, you hit bind, you plug the plug in, the binding plug in, and you're good. And they have some pretty good technology in them. If you are in an oh shit moment, you literally push a button and the fixed wing will just straighten itself out. That's great. Their buddy box system is another thing that everybody seems to like, although I think it's very antiquated and inferior, especially compared to what FR Sky does, where we have a Bluetooth buddy box, which if you've never used it to get somebody to learn how to fly, it is awesome to do it. Super easy to use. All my RC cards came with Spectrum. Ripped that all out and went with Dumbo RC. I know nothing about land-based RC. Yeah, there was a few prominent FPV people that were flying Spectrum, and the only reason they were flying Spectrum is because they were sponsored by Spectrum. Same thing with FPV people that fly Futaba. Most likely, they were sponsored by Futaba at some point. Oh, Aethix. That looks like a whole boatload of fun and a bunch of broken parts. This is where Aethix ripping right now. Look at that. What is on? I always admire kind of graffiti. Like, how did that end up there? Very cool. What is all this stuff? It's so cool. It's like places like this are just amazing to me. Very cool. That looks like a ton of fun. Hopefully you don't break too much while you're there. Or do. I don't know. It'd probably be fun if you did or didn't. Either way. Yeah, and then Spectrum also got in the hobby, it edged its way into the hobby with the first Tiny Whoops, because Tiny Whoops were Inductrix micros, which were all Spectrum. And that's, I mean, if anybody flies Spectrum in the hobby that's been around for a while, it's probably because they got into it with the Tiny Whoops. The original OG Tiny Whoops were Spectrum Inductrix micros, and those were all Spectrum. Or not Spectrum, but Inductrix, yeah. Oh, that was August? Awesome. I say it looks a little warm there. Very cool, though. Where is that again? I don't remember. Minefield, that's what it was. I want to try to get out a little bit more this year. We'll see. It's hard with the whole single dad situation I'm going on with right now. And it's not single dad like you're thinking. It's just, we're not in the same place right now, work-wise. And I don't know if I'm going to be where I am this time next year. I may have to move. We'll see. We'll see what happens. All right, guys. Geez, where'd the time go? It is noon where I'm at. Mr. Bardwell should be live streaming here. I don't know. Did he live stream last weekend? Yep. His live stream's up. Thank you all for coming out today. I greatly appreciate it. This is the highlight of my week. Thank you to all the secret shoppers that came out. That was a ton of fun, and I look forward to doing it again next year. Again, this hobby and the people in it are what keeps it going. This is what keeps me coming back. I mean, if this hobby was like a lot of other hobbies, I don't know if I'd keep going with it, but I like the people just as much as the actual flying aspect of it. Y'all are awesome. You guys are what keeps it going. And, we'll see you next time. Thanks for coming out. Have a good one. And as always, stay positive. Go check out Bardwell's live stream. And after that, check out my man Ciotti. If you haven't watched the Ciotti live stream, you owe it to yourself. The dude is an absolute riot, shit show, basket case, fun guy. Like, he is everything you could possibly imagine. Awesome guy. Good person to be in the hobby. And dude knows his micro stuff. If you have micro questions, he's the guy for it. All right, folks, we'll see you next time, and go out, go fly.